Alright, hello and welcome back to another episode of, well, actually not another episode, but for the very first time, a brand new episode of multiplayer on the Golden Hopper server. So I had a little bit of an issue as we're logging in here. I let the frame rate normalize there. So basically, I had a bit of an issue with the audio, so I'm actually doing a voiceover right now, trying to get that all to work out. Basically, Audacity froze and decided, hey, I don't want to work now. So doing a voiceover there. We got our little hidey hole there for nighttime, and then we're just gonna go ahead and turn down our volume there, so everything is about the proper level. Though it doesn't make as big of a deal this time around because we're not at the Ender farm or anything like that. But we've got a cool server here, and there was about 3 of us last night playing. We just started it yesterday, and here's a map that's taking absolutely forever to load in, and it shows our general spawn area, and that's our general spawn board with the usual rules of no griefing, but pranking is perfectly fine. And then the next rule of no building in the general spawn area, so within visual range of spawn, no personal building, but community builds are perfectly fine. And so we can see here that is where we are. We got some cows, chickens, and stuff like that over there. Got a little mesa over there, which is pretty cool. And we ended up spawning in a brand new roofed biome, which is also pretty darn cool. And the last rule just followed general Minecraft etiquette. So in the if you farm wheat, just make sure to replant things. If you breed cows or chickens or whatever, just make sure that you breed them. I was gonna say replant them, but I guess you don't replant chickens, do you? Hi, little chicken. Hi, little guy. Look at you. You're so cute. We've got our little cheaty little carpet pads there that help us jump up, which is also a good thing there. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of harvesting here since, we're over here. It's a bit of a scatterbrand episode, just sort of an introduction. Want to show everything off, see how everything looks at the beginning, because it's always cool to go back after you've done these sort of things for a long time, and to go back and to look at them and go, wow, this has changed, that has changed. So it's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool thing to be able to go back and do. I know there's a lot of episodes, or not episodes, but a lot of other games, and including Minecraft sandbox type games where, man, I wish I could go back and see things where they were at the beginning, and sort of go back and look at them. I always think that's a pretty cool thing to be able to do. So that's sort of the whole point of the YouTube's channel that I got going on there. We got some eggs there. We're going to try to get ourselves some more chickens going on there, because I'm going to be making sort of a chicken farm with the hoppers and redstone and whatnot there. We're also going to go ahead and breed some cows up so we can go ahead and kill them for their food, because food is really scarce right now on the old server. I'm trying to be a little bit more relaxed than the whole server thing, I suppose. Meaning, when I generally play a game, I have a very strict regiment of things that I do to ensure that things are occurring at proper time. So I don't know what I was pointing at there. Maybe the red mushrooms, which is pretty cool. I think that's maybe what it was. But I generally try to follow a strict... oh, yeah, I'm talking about making stew. So I was pointing at the red mushroom there, as I had chopped down a couple of the brown ones, and at that point I hadn't noticed that I had the brown ones in my inventory, but I also decided just to kill these guys to get a little bit more food going, at least for this episode, and to let me get going there, because I want to start a bit of a project here. But I'm trying to be a little bit more, again, I'm going to use the word that I hate using, but I'm going to use it anyway, organic in the whole thing, because I'm not the only one on the server. So I don't want to be that person like, hey, everybody's got to follow the rules and follow everything. And I really like how the maps now, they stitch into the full block, which is really, really cool. And I think what I'm going to end up doing, because the map there is a little bit on the small side, I'm going to end up doing a 2x2, so like here we go, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 style map, just to get a general, a little bit bigger picture and general idea of what the whole area there looks like. So, we cook ourselves up a little bit of food, and then I'm talking about how I originally had started, and when I got on there, I was able to get pretty much all of my armor almost right away, and try to get some more chickens, some more eggs going there. I was able to pretty much start right away, and took me about half an hour to get, or half hour, 45 minutes maybe, to get enough iron to get everything going, to get all of my materials that I needed, full kit, if you will. So full iron armor as well as full sword and pick and shovel and all that kind of thing. And I went off sort of in one direction and just sort of found a cave and decided to go caving. There's actually an abandoned mine shaft down there as well, which actually ended up being a little bit excuse me again, a little bit on the scary side, because I had pretty much no armor at all. So pretty much what I want to do is clear out a lot of these trees that we got going on, just to make room for spawn and whatnot, for buildings and things like that. And also want to go ahead and just gather some more resources while we're at it, just to make sure that that we're going to end up having not just enough resources, but just to make sure that we're going to end up having enough space for spawn. Because I think what we're going to end up doing, because spawn is in sort of this valley type thing, we may just have some, like, one main road going across the whole thing, and then, ooh, got an apple. And then sort of building on either side of that with just sort of a main road running down the middle. So that's possibly what we're going to end up doing here. But this video is just sort of a introduction to the server thing, like I had previously mentioned there. So as we continue to chop down some trees, there was, I think, there's 3 of us yesterday who just played from, gosh, like 8:30 to 12, and it's funny because time in a SMP versus SSP, so survival multiplayer versus survival single player, time goes by a lot faster. It was funny to see, it's nighttime again, it's nighttime again, but when I'm in more of my single player worlds, I tend to notice that, or when nighttime occurs, and we got a full inventory again. But that's kind of a interesting thing that ends up happening, is that you get that time passage being completely different. Maybe it's because fun with friends, or who knows what. I'm not sure, but there's always a little something going on there. So these, as we can see, in my inventory and all the chests and stuff, everything is quite a bit of a mess. And again, not just because I don't want to be that okay, everything's got to be neat and organized, and everybody's got to follow 1,500 different rules. That's I don't really want to be that kind of a person. So in this sort of initial stages, things are going to be just sort of how people end up sort of leaving them. But that'll eventually get fixed once we get our own bases going, and once we get more oriented sort of things for that, so we can have different shops that will have like specific things there. And it was funny because we're trying to make a cake, and we needed the iron to make buckets or something like that, and then the guy there went ahead and made it after I had logged off. But I'm gonna grab our food there, and then we can see, thank you, founders. That's me and my other friend, who we started that yesterday, and a little bit of a headache to get started because this is our first time for either of us. This is actually the first time she's ever played on I think I'm just explaining the board. Basically, there's the general community message board, and then there's the rules side, and there's a couple of little chests with a book and quill in it for people to figure out what, if they want to say something that, if they want to say something that can't really necessarily be easily said on a sign or something like that. But the headache that we ended up having, and I'm just going to get some supplies here to go start a little bit of a branch mine, and that's what I'm going to do after getting this video going here, is start doing a branch mine. But this is the first time either of us, she's ever played on PC. She's always done the Xbox, and the other person who's on, same thing with him. He'd only done the Xbox recently, so I guess I was the resident PC expert, if you will. But I had no idea. I'd never played on a server before, so I had no idea how to get it. So we got it through MC Pro hosting. I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not already. I may have, I may not have. I don't remember what I said in the actual recording and what I'm saying versus what I'm saying now, because good old Audacity. We're just going to decorate with some lapis blocks there. So I bought it, put all my information in, got it. Okay, great, wonderful. And I didn't really know where to go from there. I know, you had to put in some IP or something like that, but what was important to me was make sure that it was whitelisted, so, you don't have random people coming on and then end up griefing, although I'm not necessarily worried about that with this server because nobody knows about it at this point, but maybe in the future that might be something to consider. So I figured let's do it now and all that kind of stuff. And so as the owner, I put in my Minecraft username and when I bought it. And so I did that, and I was put as the owner of the server. And so when I logged on, I wasn't opt. I had no OP capabilities, so I couldn't break blocks. I couldn't do anything. So I logged back off, and I had to go into the control panel for the MC Pro hosting thing to be able to opt myself, because I had made the other person, I made her the administrator for the server. So she wasn't actually opt, which is interesting. But we had to log on, and then I had to opt myself through, or not through the game itself, but through the server side, I suppose. And then I was able to opt her, and now we're able to add people via a whitelist. So we give them the IP, they give us their username, and then we can add them on there. So far there's, I believe, 4 people on the whitelist. So we've got 4 people who can be playing, and I assume we're gonna have quite a few more than that. Probably 8 to 10 is my guess. Somewhere in that realm at least. But my sort of future plans are to go and get rid of all this sort of roofed forest area that's in the main sort of spawn area, because that's gonna I'm tripping over my words. That's gonna become Spawn Town. That's the sort of goal. So we're going to head down to the ravine that we ended up finding. We found that ravine, and that was just full of monsters, which is always fun, right? I took the screenshot after recording, and it took me about 10 minutes just to get a screenshot that I wanted to take that you saw at the beginning of the video, because I had to fight so many creepers and monsters, and I almost died by one. And that spiral staircase, that was hilarious, because I'm apparently terrible with spiral staircases. I just can't go up or down them easily at all. Even last night I was having trouble. Maybe it's because I was tired or who knows what, but I just couldn't get up the dang staircase. It took me like 2 or 3 attempts. And then even afterwards, when I was going back up to take the screenshot from the cave down here, I ended up having the same problem. But we're just going to do sort of a branch mine style type of a cave, or possibly not. I had talked about in the original audio how I was watching a fairly big YouTuber, a Minecraft YouTuber, and he was talking that if you get a beacon and you set it to haste, you are able to, and then you get a efficiency 5 pick, you're able to mine out an area a lot faster and find resources a lot faster than just doing sort of traditional branch mining. And in my single player world, I'm not really having any issues in terms of finding diamonds, but at the same time, I'm not playing with anybody, and so that means there are no shops, there's no trading opportunities for other goods or services for those diamonds. So I have an excess of diamonds on my single player, but not in the... and we got our first emerald as well. So first emerald on the server mined, and I was sort of dumbfounded that I thought that they were only in the extreme hills edge biomes, but now apparently they're not, because we're still in the roofed forest. But that's our first emerald, and I'm thinking I may just put that on the community board there as a symbolic, haha, first emerald found on the server. Because emeralds are basically currency in the game, even though in reality the currency is diamonds, because diamonds are actually useful. The only thing emeralds do or have a use for is with trading with villagers and potentially other players, but they're so rare that they're kind of a pain to get. You have to trade other resources. The most efficient way to get them is to trade with other villagers with other resources to get emerald, and then use that basically to go back through and then get a ton of emeralds that way. But I don't really see the point in that. I think that's sort of a waste, and emeralds are the most useless block. I like the idea of what Mojang did there with trying to initiate that kind of thing, like a trading currency, but I think that because there's no use for emeralds, I mean, the only thing you can do is a decorative block, or maybe the ore if you've got a silk touch, and that's about it. So I think that a bit of a waste there, but we're definitely wrapping up the episode here. I'm wanting to keep them a little bit on the shorter side to hopefully get a little bit better audience retention and hopefully spark some people's interest in watching the videos, because I know it's a little bit daunting to sit back and watch somebody you've never seen before for half an hour and to judge if that's what you are really interested in doing. So until next time, I'll see you next time.